Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण everyone. So today is Sunday. It is 15th of October. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa and Sukla Paksham. It is a Parjami or Pratipat. So today it is a Navaratri starts today and then it goes for festivals until 24th of October until Dashera or Vijayadashami. So that's all from that is mentioned in the Vaishnava calendar. So Navaratri starts from today. Yeah, so that's all from the events perspective. We shall quickly enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj, he is speaking to Dharma, the bull, or Mother Earth and a cow. And then, so he was saying, because of the Kali was disturbing this Dharma and Dharani. He is beating them and then making them weak and lamenting. So Mother Cow is keeping tears in her eyes. So at that time, Parikshit is saying why he needs to kill that miscreant as a king, and also to remove the lamentations and any arti or distress from the distressed people. So yesterday we have seen Yasya Rashtre Prajaha Sarvaha Trasyante Sadva Asadubhihi Tasya Mattasya Nasyanti Kirtihi Ayuhu Bhavogatihi Esharajnam Parodharmohi Artanam Arti Nigraha Atayenam Vadishyami Bhutadruham Asattamam. So it is the prime duty of a king to remove the distress from the living entities, all the living entities who are being tortured. So that's why I'm going to kill this miscreant, this person who is appearing like a king, but he's a Sudra, his activities are Sudra activities. If any king is negligent of these kind of things, so then all his fame and his lifespan and also his opulence will be destroyed. So likewise, he has given few reasons from as a king's perspective as well. And then further, he is asking Dharma, the son of Surabhi, who has cut your feet? Who has cut? So you are you have had four legs. Now 3 legs are not there. Who has done this one? And then in this kingdom, as long as in the Kuru's dynasty, whoever is always following the Krishna's instructions to rule the kingdom, so far nothing has happened like this. Like you are lamenting, no one has lamented before. So who has done this one to you? Likewise, Parikshit is asking Dharma, or personified religion. So we are in the first canto, chapter 17 and verse number 12. Ko vrushyat-tava padhantrim saurabheya chatushpadam ma bhuvam twadrushaha raste Rajnam Krishnanuvattinam Ko vrushat tava padantrim ka avrushat. Who is he that he has cut off? Avruchat tava padantrim, and your 3 legs. Who has cut all the 3 legs? Saurabheya Chatushpada. O son of Surabhi, you are a 4-legged one. Ko avrushat tava padantrim Saurabheya Chatushpada. All the cows are Chatushpada. So they have got 4 legs. So likewise Parikshit is asking, Ko avrushat tava padantrim Saurabheya Chatushpada. Ma bhuvan tvam drushaha raste. So far Ma bhuvan, and it is nothing has happened like Ma bhuvan tva drushaha raste. In this kingdom, so far nothing has happened like this. Ma bhuvan tvam drushaha raste. Rajnam Krishnanuvattinam, because all these kings are following the Krishna's instructions, following the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam instructions. They have heard from the Evam Parampara Praptam, from their gurus and spiritual masters. Raste Rajnam Krishnanuvattinam, who follow the codes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this Bhagavad Gita has been there since the time immemorial, but recent past times are, one is with Arjuna's conversations and another one is with Vivaswan conversations, Sun God and Krishna. Ma bhuvan tvam drushaha raste Rajnam Krishnanuvattinam. Likewise, Parikshit is inquiring from Surabhi, so that when there is a punishment is given, so there is a witness as well, and there is a witness. So as long as there is a witness, then only king can take the punishment, so that he doesn't use his own opinion. One is the Shastra, Sadhu, and also witnesses. So it's just like the courts, they do the trials. So likewise, Parikshit is doing. Ko vrushat tava padantri saurabhe chatushpada ma bhuvan tvam drushaha raste radham krishnanuvattinam. So translation for this verse. He, Maharaja Parikshit, repeatedly addressed and questioned the bull, thus, O son of Surabhi, who has cut off your 3 legs? In the state of the kings who are obedient to the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, there is no one as unhappy as you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The kings or the executive heads of all states must know the codes of Lord Krishna, generally Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and must act accordingly in order to fulfill the mission of human life, which is to make an end to all miseries of material conditions. One who knows the codes of Lord Krishna can achieve this end without any difficulty. In the Bhagavad Gita, in a synopsis, we can understand the codes of Godhead, and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the same codes are explained further. In the state where the codes of Krishna are followed, no one is unhappy. Where such codes are not followed, the first sign is that 3 legs of the representative of religion are cut off, and thereby all miseries follow. When Krishna was personally present, the codes of Krishna were being followed without question. But in his absence, such codes are presented in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam for the guidance of the blind persons who happen to be at the helm of all affairs. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in this purport, Prabhupada is mentioning about the importance of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to be introduced in the society, so that this Varnashrama Dharma, the platform for the elevation of the conditioned souls, will be happen. So that is the platform. Varnashrama Dharma is a platform. On top of it, devotees would be coming out. They will be produced, and then they will be liberated from these material conditions. And then Prabhupada mentions that in the absence of Krishna, so this Srimad Bhagavatam is appearing here, and there is no difference between Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's words and Krishna himself. Idam Bhagavatam Nam Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shlok Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishihi Nishresaya Lokastadhanyam Swastainam Mahan. So this is Krishna's incarnation in the form of literature. Idam Bhagavatam Nam Puranam Brahma Samhitam Krishne Sudamopakate Dharma Jnanadivisaha Kalau Nasa Dushamesha Puranarko Adunoditaha. And as soon as Krishna departed from this material world and invisible to the materialized, then Krishna Sudamopakate Dharma Jnanadibihi Saha, along with Dharma and knowledge, everything, they went along with Krishna. But Krishna Sudamopakate Dharma Jnanadibihi Saha Kalunasa Dushamesha Puranarko Adunoditaha. So, and also due to the Kali's influence to remediate that thing, Srimad Bhagavatam has appeared. Srimad Bhagavatam has appeared. So there is no difference between Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam. So everyone has to take the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the way of life. So then, so the codes of Krishna were being followed without question. Similarly, when we take the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, everyone will follow without questions. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Ko avrushat tava padantrin saurabheya chatushpada ma bhavan tvan dushaharastre rajnam krishnanuvattinam. Likewise, all the dharma can be re-established wherever it is needed. From the villages, towns and cities, everyone must be trained according to Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so that is the from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Subala, October 16, 1969, Tettenhurst. Can I request any devotees to read this letter?
Maybe.
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Subala, please accept my blessing. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated September 26, 1969, October 3 and October 12, 1969, and have noted the contents carefully. I thank you very much for your contribution of starting of our press in Boston, as well as your $15 contribution to the maintenance fund. I am always encouraged to hear of your nice activities in Philadelphia, and gradually I accept that our Philadelphia temple will play more and more an important role in the propagation of the Krishna consciousness movement. The people of the world are looking for some way of being happy and making solution to their problems, and we are presenting the best and easiest method of making final solution of all the discrepancies of life and achieving the highest bliss, which is eternal. So if we are persist in our propaganda method, then surely many persons will have the good sense to take advantage of our moment, and thereby attain the highest goal of life, unallowed devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna. In London, things are going on nicely, and last evening we had a meeting in Cornwall Hall, and several hundred persons were joining us to chanting and dancing. After the meeting, one reporter from the biggest London newspaper came behind the stage to get further information about our movement for publication in his paper. So I am very encouraged to see the nice receptions receptions that the people and the news media are giving to our activity in London. Last week we were Last week we were given official permission by the city authorities to have our temple at 7 Bury Place. Already there has been great public interest in this temple. So by Krishna's grace, there shall be a very successful temple established in London very soon. Please offer my blessing to the other. I hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from here?
Yes, Prabhupada is saying regarding this Philadelphia, like temple, and he's saying everybody has some kind of problem in their life. So the solution is Krishna consciousness, and we are doing that. We are giving people our Krishna consciousness, and that is very good. And then other things we talk about uh, London, there was some seminar, there was something conference happening in Cornwall Hall, and then one of the news what do you call reporter came back up the stage, and he was very yeah, so he was we need more information, and so he said, "Oh, Krishna consciousness, with the grace of Krishna, everything is going very nicely, and everybody is taking part." And about the temple, and it was said that there was permission was given to make temple in London, and yeah, so everybody is taking part. And with more and more taking part to Krishna consciousness, and with the Krishna grace, mm, successful with the Krishna grace, and say they will successful temple will establish in London, and yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add? In this one, so the main aim is everyone wanted to be happy, but that is only Krishna consciousness only can give that happiness to everyone, which will never ever end. It is the unending happiness. So that's why when we are just aiming for that one, Krishna would arrange everything is in association with Krishna's devotees and in the devotional service, unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is the our movement, motto of our movement, highest goal of life. Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. Yes, and also things were happening in the London successfully. Prabhupada is very happy and sharing that news too. Subala. So that is from Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so and from the announcements point of view, once again our week has started, and then also we are doing the fundraising event for Mayapur temple. So the message has been shared in the group. Yeah, and also kindly spread this message to wherever it is possible in our devotees or the neighbors, and also there are further events are happening on 24th of October as well, and also 20th October. So many messages are there, so we can take those advantages and then participate wherever it is possible to us. Okay, so that is update. Yeah, and dear devotees, if you have got any further updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Okay, so and also because this Navaratri, it is also starting today. Many people may be thinking that whether we need to celebrate or not. If we see our history, It is the Durga Devi who has killed the Mahishasura. Mahi is the Mother Earth, and Mahishi Asura is who is occupying all the land. At that time, Durga Devi comes and kills them, and who is the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also, she is a sister of Krishna, and they both appeared at the same time. So that is one thing, and also we have to respect. And also, she is also Srishti Siddhi Pralaya Sadhana Sikreka Chayevasya Bhunani Vipatti Durga. And also, she is also able to deliver the conditioned souls from this material world, uh, as a representative of Krishna. And also and also Pandavas also they have taken blessings from Durga Devi when they were going into the um, incognito, before incognito. So there are few things are mentioned from the Krishna consciousness perspective. So we also respect all these festivals, uh, but we don't celebrate as a pomp like our Krishna consciousness festivals. But we respect Durga Devi festivals. But we don't fast. But we also uh, respect all these things. Okay, that is just a few words about it.
And Krishna Prabhu. So, like, I just want a question, if it is okay.
Yes, Mataji.
So, like Subhadra Devi, what is she's also sister? So, what's she's also like Durga type, like in a sister. How does her role?
So Prabhupada mentions about Subhadra. She is the Yoga Maya, internal potency, and also Yashoda Mata. They are the expansions of the Yoga Maya, internal potency, and also Prakriti, Durga Devi. When she is in this material world, she is the in charge for this material world as a external energy, and the same energy is working in the spiritual way to come bringing the conditioned souls nearer to Krishna. Then it is internal energy or yoga maya. That is yes, it is. They're all Radha Rani's expansions. They're working in this material world in different way.
Even like Subhadra. As well.
Subhadra is who is connecting Arjuna as a relative to Krishna. So Krishna's sister. That way they are very more closer in relationships. And
But
also,
that Subhadra is not like potency of Radharani, is it?
so in the history, if we see, the Subhadra was from the higher perspective. Krishna's desire is to make Arjuna nearer to him. So then he could use Subhadra as the Yoga Maya, who is going to bring conditioned souls nearer to Krishna. That we see in the higher perspective. And the Yoga Maya, but from the activities and from the pastimes perspective, she is the wife of Arjuna and also mother of Abhimanyu. But there are not much pastimes we hear in the Bhagavatam. But yeah, she acted as a medium between Krishna and Arjuna to make the relationship more stronger. Already they are the relatives, like with the Arjuna's mother Kunti Devi is already aunt of Krishna, but Krishna wanted to have more stronger relationships.
So like Subhadra's mother is like Devki, or like how does
Rohini.
Rohini? Okay, it's not Devki, yeah.
Rohini and Balaram sisters, but Balaram wanted to give Subhadra to Duryodhana, but Krishna doesn't like that idea, so he encouraged Arjuna to kidnap Subhadra. So that is, yeah, thank you, Mataji. It's a tiny pastime, but it is more meaningful as well. Okay, any other?
It's like Yogmaya, which when Vasudev went to Yasodhama and then bring it, that is Durga.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's when Krishna, so before that things happens, so in the Vaikuntha, the Lord speaks to the Yogamaya, saying that you take birth in the womb of um, Yashoda Maya, and then I'll be appearing in the womb of Devaki. So we both would be coming at the same time. And also you take already in the Devaki's womb, there is Balarama or the Sankarshana. You just take that baby and then just introduce into Rohini's womb, who is in the Vrindavana. So that way, Balaram, his name was Sankarshana. He was taken from the womb and then transferred. That way, his name was Sankarshana also mentioned. And then later on, before Krishna appears, Sankarshana was there in the womb of Devaki. That way, he has made that place. So, like a Vrindavan Dham. Dham is the place for the Lord, but Dham is also form of Balarama, who is always supporting, and Lord is always on top of the Ananta Shesha. Like in the spiritual, in the Vrindavana, and also when it appearing in the womb of Devaki, also the first Balarama was there, and then he was moved to Rohini's womb, and then Krishna has appeared in the womb of Devaki, and at the same time Yashoda Mai has given birth to Yogamaya, and then but they are they can expand. So later on, we all know that how that past time has happened was they were just went there taking Krishna and then swapped the babies and then got the Durga Maya to present back in the Madura, and then we could see Durga Maya has manifested all her full form before speaking to Kamsa and then warned him. So that is a very nice pastimes. And also Durga Devi on the Vijayadashmi day, that is on the 10th day, Lord Ramchandra kills Ravanasura. That is also one more pastime. That is for the victory. So there is yes, Mata.
So Durga is also a form of like Parvati and like Sankar's wife.
Yes, she is Parvati. She is external energy. She is already in charge of this material universe, but in order to um, protect and give an opportunity to the conditioned souls. Initially, she has appeared as a Sati Devi, as a daughter of Prasuti and Daksha Prajapati, and due to the offenses made, Daksha has made offenses towards the Lord Shankara, and then she has left her body and again took a birth as a Parvati Devi, as a daughter of Himavan. So, and then these pastimes have been during the Sati time. There were conversations between Lord Shankara and Sati Devi, and then after that, and there were conversations between Parvati and Lord Shankara. There are a number of pastimes and conversations that are mentioned in the so many Puranas. So Parvati, before appearing Sati Devi and also Parvati Devi, external energy is already there. She is already there. So, but for within this universe, she is appearing like that. But this is called Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Vaivarta means variegatedness. How the Brahma or the Krishna, first initial beginning, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, the pure consciousness. How that pure consciousness and Krishna expands in different ways in the spiritual world, and all the pastimes happens in the spiritual world first, and then that is the root to manifest so many other pastimes in the material world. Under there, Narayana, Lord Shankara, Brahma, Dharma, and Saraswati Devi, Lakshmi Devi, Durga, and all manifesting in the spiritual world first. So that is mentioned in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, how Brahma transforms in the spiritual world. That is the root. And then we could see so many in number of places we see this is why this has happened like this in this material world. So for everything, the root is in the spiritual world, not here in this material world. That we can see, and how Radha Rani has been manifested from Krishna's heart, and how Radharani has, as soon as she was manifested, she took some flowers and then come to Krishna, and then she did Aradhana. Because she did Aradhana, so she was called Radha, and who is more dear to Krishna. So likewise, and then they have taken their positions in the spiritual world, and everyone has got different functions. That will be coming later on in the material world as a Durga Devi, and then Lord Shankara. Even the Lord Shankara here, we see it is Shambhu or Shankara. In the spiritual world, he is called Sadasiva. So likewise, these forms are already there in the spiritual world, and they come to the material world as a Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, just like for these material affairs, and Durga Devi and all other demigods. For all of them, they have got the roots in the spiritual world, and also for us, roots in the spiritual world. And we cannot find those information in the material world. That we can see in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, how Brahma variegatedness is existing before all these material creations. I think it would be very nice to. There is one more in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, one chapter from how Krishna manifests all this Narayana, Lord Shankara, and how they glorify Krishna, and then in the beginning how it has come. It would be very nice to give so many questions will be cleared from the devotees' minds. Okay, so that is how Durga Devi and Krishna's energies work in this material world. Okay. So
Like many people celebrate 9 days of Durga, like Navratri.
yes, Mataji, could you please repeat?
Like everybody celebrated 9 days of like this Navratri, like Durga Puja and everything. They do 9 days thing. You know about that?
That is because so everybody like at night time they played that with the music, and this is the all around the like a Durga, and they play the music. So why is that, Prabhu?
9 days festivals, yeah.
Yeah.
Mataji wanted to say? Oh, okay, your question. So these questions, I don't have much, because everyone will come up with different kinds of reasons to celebrate one festival. But actually, we see from the past times, one is Lord Ramachandra. Vijayadashmi is already there, but it is the time for Ramachandra to kill Ravana. So that is one thing, and also um, there is one more pastime in the Bharatam. There are so many things. And also Durga Devi kills the Mahishasura, slaying the demon Mahishasura. That is one more thing, one more pastime. And also on this day, there is worship of the Shemi tree as well. It takes place. That is when the Pandavas are going into the incognito. At the time, they keep all these their weapons, and they keep on top of the Shemika tree, and then they worship that Shemika tree, and then they enter into incognito period. That is also Vijayadashmi day. And today also they, because it is most auspicious day, of course I'm talking about Vijayadashmi, but it isn't just Navaratri starts. And Durga Devi, especially in India, in South India, there is Vijayawada Kanaka Durga temple. she is dressed or decorated like with a different number 9 forms of Durga Devi. Shakambhari, Saraswati Devi, Lakshmi Devi. Likewise, she is been uh, worshipped by their devotees like that for the material benedictions. So they are worshipping the Durga Devi for some benedictions. That is material things. It is not good. Even it is good from the material perspective, but from the spiritual point of view, we approach Durga Devi only for the devotional service to Krishna only, not for material things. Of course, when we are with Krishna, there automatically comes all these things, material things automatically comes. Okay, so that is, but I don't have much knowledge of how many people would celebrate. They will have their own different reasons.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I please say something?
Yes, Mataji, please.
I think like when like Garba and things like that, because I used to go to it all the time when I was younger. I think, you know, it actually, she actually help if you do it for the right reason, she actually helps us to come out of that material bondage as well. Because you get this energy, like this loving energy, that mother's energy, and then other things don't seem so important, and then it actually becomes easier to like Krishna because she I can't explain it, like she creates a path for us that's easier to tread on, and she helps us. That's how I see it. And even like the fact that you're playing Ras or Garba or whatever the thing is, like in this world, like it's to create harmony and peace between people that may have become enemies, or it's like a like she brings, like you get this whole energy of goodness, that's how I would put it, it being in that situation. And then everybody like is, you know, all dancing or, you know, doing all these like specific dances, like all in the same way. And then through that, everyone gets to do something together. And it is the atmosphere is like in kind of goodness, and then it makes it a little bit easier for us to connect. Not easier, but she does pave the way. If you don't ask for material things, she really helps us in our devotional life. That's my experience.
Yes, Mataji, yeah, that is right. So somewhere or other, people will get an opportunity to participate in Krishna's different energies. She is just a shadow of Krishna here in this. Chayeva yasya bhunani. Chaya is the shadow. Chayeva yasya bhunani vipatti durga. She maintains. She creates Srishti Sti Pralaya Sadhana Sekti Rekha. She creates, maintains, and also destroys, and she also liberates. So that is the potency. Ichchanurupam asya api yasya cha cheshtate sa. It is, everything is being carried out on the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So here Brahma Samhita says Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It doesn't recommend that Durga Devi Bhajami. Durga Devi Tamaham Bhajami doesn't. But still, it is, she is acting on the will of Ichchanurupam Api Yascha Cheshtate sa. Even though she is delivering everything, she is carrying out everything on the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That's why Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajan. So that's why Krishna devotees, they're always only with Krishna. And we respect all the devotees of Durga Devi as well. She, and also because she is carrying out her duties. It is a kind of a thankless task. Prabhupada mentions in one of the purports that to condition all these souls in a big prison and punishing them, it is a kind of a thankless task for the miscreants. And for the good people and devotees of Krishna, she works in other way as a yoga maya. That is the beautiful thing Prabhupada has given in those purports of Sri Brahma Samhita. And but from the material perspective, as a conditioned souls, at least they would get an opportunity to associate with Durga Devi from the material and the rituals perspective, and they derive good pleasure. It's a gradual elevation. It is the pave the way, as you have said. That is right. At least they are in association with Krishna's energy, directly or indirectly. Thank you, Mataji, for giving some information on it.
And she's the like she's the fact that we have a material body, she's given it to us as well. Like she's, you know, we are indebted to her, you know, like
Yes.
Like it's not like, yeah. And even like Jada Bharat's story, you know, when she comes as Kali, you know, she if someone is a devotee of the Lord, she will protect them. She will like destroy the miscreants. So depending on which stage you are at, you know, she's helping us as well. Like it's not like I don't see her as like opposing to Krishna. I just see her as someone that helps us in our devotional life, because that's her role, is to ultimately take us into the shelter of Krishna, like Lord Shiva's is. Or they feel happy when we turn into devotees of Krishna, because ultimately that's what they want for us.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that is right.
So we can please them by becoming devotees of Lord, so that you know, that's what they want anyway.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that's right. So she is always helping to bring the conditioned souls nearer to Krishna. But for the miscreants, she appears like a thunderbolt, punishes. Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji. If you are all happy, we shall move into the next part of our program. So this is recitation of the.
And she's also Radharani as well. Like ultimately, that's her. All of these are her expansions as well. So
Yes. So Radharani's expansions. So that comes. We have discussed how Radharani expanded herself into the spiritual and material worlds in different ways. Yes, she is the expansion of Radharani. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we're all happy. So we have so far in Srimad Bhagavatam 12 verses we have discussed, and last week we have recited this verse, text 13, and also today we are going to recite this text 13 and 14 as well, and then we will enter into some kind of discussions. We're all happy. I'm just going to. Okay. So for the pattern, would like to go from the alphabetical order, reverse alphabetical order. Can I request Usha Mataji to recite these verses, 2 verses, 3 times, 13 and 14.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Because I'm looking in Sanskrit program. Just
Okay, yes, Mataji.
yeah, I'm going to do my. Okay, Baba, it's अतः पुंभिद्विजश्रेष्ठाः वर्णाश्रमविभागशः स्वनुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् अतः पुंभिद्विजश्रेष्ठाः वर्णाश्रमविभागशः स्वनुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिः हरितोषणम् अतः पुंभिद्विजश्रेष्ठः वर्णाश्रमविभागशः स्वनुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिः हरितोषणम् तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सान्त्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्यः कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयः पूज्यश्च नित्यदा तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सान्त्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्यः कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयः पूज्यश्च नित्यदा तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्यकीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयः पूज्यश्च नित्यदा हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Can I request Radha Sevika Mataji?
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अतः पुंभि द्विजश्रेष्ठवनाश्रम विभागा सह स्वानुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् अतः पुंभिद्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्ण आश्रम विभागसः स्वानुशिष्टस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् अतः पुंभिर्द्विजा वर्ण आश्रम विभागसः स्वानुशिष्टस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् तस्माद् एकेन मनसा भगवान् सत्वतं पतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च धयया पूज्यश्च नित्यदा तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सत्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्यकीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येया पूज्यश्च नित्यदा तस्माद् एकेन मनसा भगवान् सत्वतं पतिः श्रोतव्यकीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येया पूज्यश्च नित्यदा
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully recited. Can I request Meena Mataji?
हरे कृष्ण अथ पुंभिद्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्णाश्रमविभागसः स्वनुत्तिष्ठस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धि हरितोषिणाम् अन्तः पुस्मि द्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्णाश्रमविभागसः स्वनुत्तिष्ठस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धि हरितोषिणाम् अतः पुस्मि द्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्णाश्रमविभागसः स्वनुत्तिष्ठस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धि हरितोषिणाम् तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतापतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तिव्ययक्ष धैर्यपूजस्य नित्यदा तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतापतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यक्षस्य धैर्यपूजस्य नित्यदा तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतापतिः श्रोतव्यकीर्तितव्यश्च धैर्यपूजस्य नित्यदा हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Nicely recited. Can I request Jahnukanya Mataji? Hare Krishna, Jahnukanya Mataji. So meanwhile, can I request Gaurangi Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. अतः पुंभिर्द्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्णासं विभागसः स्वानुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् अतः पुंभिर्द्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्णासमविभागसः स्वानुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् अतः पुंभिर्द्विजशेषा वर्णासंविभागसः स्वानुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम् तस्मादिकेन मनसा भगवान् सततं पतिः श्रोतव्या कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येया पूज्यश्च नित्यदा तस्मादिकेन मनसा भगवान् सततं पति श्रोतव्या कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयः पूज्यश्च नित्यदा तस्मादिकेन मनसा भगवान् सततं पतिः श्रोतव्या कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयः पूज्यश्च नित्यदा हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Can I request Jahanakanya Mataji?
Hare Krishna, sorry, I couldn't get on mute. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atha Pumbedvijastreta Varnashrama Vibhagsasa Swanustitasya Dharmasya Samsidhir Haritoshanam Atha Pumbedvijastreta Varnashrama Vibhagasaha Swanustitasya Dharmasya Samsidhir Haritoshanam Atha Pumbedvijastreta Varnashrama Vibhagasaha Swanustitasya Dharmasya Samsidhir Haritoshanam Tasmadekani manasa Bhagavan sarvatam pitahi titihi Shrutavya kirtitavyasya Dvejya punjya chanityada Tasmadekana manasa Bhagavan sarvatam patihiti Patihi Shrutavya Kirtitavyasya Dheya Punjyasya Nityada Tasmaye Kana Manasa Bhagavan Sadvatam Patihi Shrutavya Kirtitavyasya Dheya Punjyasya Nityada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So nicely, beautifully recited. Okay, so we shall enter into the meanings of the each and every verse. So, one translation. So these two verses, Atah Pumbid Vijasreshta Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Swanishtasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam Tasmad Ekena Manasa Bhagavan Satpatam Patihi Srotavyaha Kirtavyasya Jyayaha Pujyasya Dityada. So here Suta Goswami is saying, O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. And therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotees. So this is So the Goswami has given these conclusions. So it is summary of entire Srimad Bhagavatam. These are all seed verses. Until second chapter, third chapter contains all the seed verses. Okay, so now Ataha, so Pumbir Vijasreshta. So can I request Usha Mataji? So for the first line, would you like to give some kind of your understanding and how you think or context?
So, like, Pumbi is human beings. Dvijasreshtaha, O best among twice born, and Varnasrama. Like, the people are here in Varnasrama. There is 4 asramas. They're mentioning about like 4 asramas. We had Vanprastha, Grihastha ashram, Grihastha, Vanprastha. Is that like 4 asrama, Prabhu? And
Brahmacharya
Brahmacharya, yeah.
and Sanya.
Vanprastha ashram. So there's a human beings in all amongst the best, sorry, Prabhu, I will be explaining a lot.
So and also Varnas like Kshatriya, Brahmana,
Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Is there anything about the caste as well? Yeah, okay. Can you explain it?
Yes, so that is 4 ashramas and 4 varnas. Base ashramas, they're always fixed. It is Brahmacharyam, Grihastha, and Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. And it will change according to one's stages when he is in Brahmacharya, and then once he finishes, then he can enter either into Grihastha or directly into Sannyasa. That he can choose. But every step is a auspicious thing. Everything is for, as mentioned in the scriptures, for Krishna's pleasure. Okay, so that is Atha Pumbir. So here, Dvijasreshta, Suta Goswami is addressing to the people of Saunakadi sages. Saunakadi sages are all Dvijasreshta. So, and he is also saying, for the human beings, O Dvijasreshta, O Saunakadi sages, what is best for the human being? Varnashrama Vibhagashaha. So the everything is for divided based on the qualities, and the stages of the life. Okay, so thank you, Mataji. So now can I request Radha Sevika Mataji? Swanishtasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam.
Of one's own, just a moment, of one's own prescribed duties. So is this going back to what we were speaking about yesterday, that we should, whichever order of life we're in, we shouldn't do somebody else's duty, but we should do our own to the highest perfection for the pleasure of the Lord. So so for example, if we're a sannyasi, then there are rules that sannyasis would follow. So therefore they adhere to these rules for the pleasure of the Lord. If they are a grihastha, then their dharma is like to have a family, to bring up the children in Krishna consciousness, But whatever they're doing, it's not for their own pleasure, but it's for the pleasure of the Lord. If they're a student, then they're like just focusing on their studies. They don't let other things disrupt them. And again, it's for the pleasure of the Lord. And Vanashram is Vanaprastha rather is about detaching from everything that you've materially created, or you've endeavored to create, and then it's slightly letting go of those things so that you can again focus on the Lord. And then in terms of occupation, certain ashrams will have certain qualities, and as long as they are doing the prescribed duty for that quality, then there isn't a disturbance. And like if brahmanas just do the brahminical, because they will have a certain nature, they're not necessarily into money, they're just doing it for the pleasure of the Lord, and also they're being empowered by the Lord as well, like through knowledge. So if they start doing another person's duty, then that kind of means that the society isn't educated in the correct way. So it's important for them to carry out theirs. In terms of Kshatriyas, if there wasn't law and order, there would be issues. But also that normally Kshatriya people don't have the intellect. They're more action orientated and they need guidance. And Vaishyas, they have like a mentality of creating profit, and also of like farming and that kind of thing. But without the Brahminical support, they will also become rogues. And Shudras, they need protection, so they can but Shudras can't become the other four Varnas because they don't have that they might not have that knowledge coming to them, they might not have that ability, so therefore they can serve the others so that they can also elevate themselves eventually. So it's important for, if the four work together, then it pleases the Lord, because each of the Varnas is then protected, and then there's less disharmony within society. So when we follow Krishna's path, when we follow what Krishna has laid down to us as dharma, so one ashram only exists until the point that you get to Krishna consciousness. After you are Krishna conscious, then really you could be in any of those varnas and it won't matter to you. That's how I see it. Like you could be a Shudra and you know how that you please the Lord. You could be a Brahmana, you know how to please the Lord. You could be a Grahastha, you know how to please the Lord. It's only till the point that you're not Krishna conscious, because all these things elevate you to a point of Krishna consciousness. And thereafter, once you're linked to Krishna, then it kind of falls away. It doesn't matter so much. You don't need that structure. It's like it's like a baby step. It's there to help you with the rules and regulations until you're at a point where you just love Krishna, and then you don't need that scaffolding. You don't need all those things in place, because your consciousness has elevated. You've elevated your consciousness to just loving Krishna, so it doesn't matter after that. I don't know. I think that's how I see it.
Yes, perfectly said, Mataji. You have summarized everything. Yeah, a Krishna conscious person, he doesn't have to worry about all these things. He is above Vaishnava, is above all of these things. So beautifully explained, Mataji.
But also, like, we can't come out, if prematurely we can't come out of the Varnashram system, because if we do, then we're not following Krishna's system, and then you'll have problems. Like when we don't follow Krishna's instructions, we land ourselves into trouble. Like if you miss one of them, or you think you don't need one of them, or like, it's just that I've heard sometimes people say that they thought they could be a brahmachari forever, but they couldn't, and then they face problems. But then Krishna helps them anyway. So yeah.
Okay, so here, so brahmacharya, grihastha, and vanaprastha and sannyasa, they will go only one after another. There is no coming back to the previous things. There is no chance. But in the varnas, so it is based on the quality. Quality can be changed in different times. So today I have got lots of energy and courage. I can act as a kshatriya. So tomorrow my energy, no more energy in this body. And also I might be just, I don't want to do this kshatriya job. And then immediately he will fall down to either Vaishya or Sudra. So that is based on the quality.
Okay.
But some people, they choose to stand as a kshatriya until they leave their body. So they will go to the battlefield and fight. So that is the quality. That is also based on the quality, how they keep themselves. But in the ashramas, there is no coming back. It is only elevation. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Chota Haridas Thakur, he was in the sannyasa at the time, when his thoughts were going downwards, then he did not allow that. So that is the against the ashramas. That is only.
Okay, so in ashram you can't, in the ashram you can't go down, but in varna you can.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. So perfectly explained. Can I request Jahnu Kanya Mataji about the Tasman Eke Namanasa Bhagavan Satam Patihi.
Are we on the first paragraph or the second? I can't.
It is the second verse. It is.
Oh, I see. Haribol. Right. Yeah. Well, I actually focus on 13 more because I think I missed it.
Yes, Mataji, that's fine. You can just say on the 13th as well if you like, whatever the part you like.
All right, Hare Krishna. Well, I just look at the system and what originally in this verse, Krishna was addressing Arjuna, saying about the different castes and the different orders. So he's saying that you have the 4 castes, which is the intelligent, the martial caste, the productive caste, and the labor caste. And why that is, it is actually to actually organize the community so that it's like a designing a system and categorizing 4 caste order. And these castes are ordained from birth. Oh, sorry, not from birth, they're classified. So they're not born into it, they're just classified. The 4 orders, which is like the student life, the household life, retired life, and devotional life. And by this division, the division is necessary for the people's best interest, really, so that they could develop a healthy, civilized lifestyle and grow and get and elevate towards liberation. This is really to keep us steady so we don't go all over the place, not knowing where we belong and how we should perform in life. And so instead of going through the material sense gratification, is leading us to detachment and humility. That's what I make of it. And the part, the Swanustistasya's role is when one develop prescribed duties, one's own prescribed occupational duties, to differentiate our role in society, really. And the occupation is designed and allocated to us because that is what is designed for each individual person. and samsiddhi means the highest perfection. It is at a level where we can actually reach a platform that pleases the Lord, the personality of Godhead. That's what I make of it, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I hope it's useful.
Yes, Mataji, it is beautifully explained. Everything is, if it is not attracting towards Haritosham, that is Shramayevihi Kevalam. Here, all these are things just only to elevate oneself towards the Haritoshanam, nearer to Krishna, pleasing Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Beautifully explained. So, can I request Gaurangi Mataji? So, about this Tasmad Ekena Manasa Bhagavan Satram Patihi.
तस्मात् मनसा भगवान सतत पाठ therefore this one I understand. First line, probably I don't understand. So Bhagavan is supreme power of Godhead. Then Satyatam of the devotees is devotees. Prabhuji, I cannot explain. Prabhuji, sorry.
You are explaining, Mataji. You are doing very nicely, Mataji.
Sorry. Which chapter, Prabhuji?
This is chapter.
I
First,
will check my book. Then I will explain, Prabhuji.
it is verse number 14, Mataji.
14. Which one? Chapter?
Second
6?
chapter. Second chapter.
7. Okay. 7.
No, second. Number.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. Second chapter.
14 verse.
14. Okay. Okay. Tosmat. Okay. So this guy, yes. This guy. Yes. Again, Ekagra. Yeah. So Tosmat. That's why I think so. Then Eken means Ekagra means like meditation, silence. Then by heart, supreme power of Bhagwan is the supreme power of Godhead. Then Satatam means devotees. After that, Pati means Ratchak means like who protect Prabhuji. So who like meditation, like the whole devotees, then who protect only Bhagwan is protect for devotees. I think so, Prabhuji. I cannot explain. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Mataji. You have tried in, but
I I don't understand properly. That's why.
yeah, but you have explained those words, Mataji. So, Tasmad Ekena Manasa, just with a concentrated mind towards only one way. Ekena Manasa, directing all our mind and heart towards Bhagavan Sat Dampatihi, towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Sat Dampatihi, who is the protector of devotees. That is Tasmad Ekena Manasa Bhagavan Satvitam Patihi. So he is always protects the devotees. And how? And so here, what is further Sadhu Goswami saying? So one should. So can I request Shrotavyaha Kirtitavyasya Dhyeha Pujyasya Nityada. So there are 4 activities mentioned, and all those 4 activities Nityada all the time. Shrotavyaha. that is always being heard, and the Kitavyasha, to be glorified, Jayaha, to be remembered, and Pujyaha, to be worshipped. All these 4 activities to be performed Nityada, every day, constantly. So can I request each one of you, so take one of the activities, Shrotavyaha. So Gaurangi Mataji, could you take this one, Shrotavyaha, just by hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Do you want to say any 1 or 2 lines about it?
Sotabhyaya, Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
is this listening. Listening means who listen to God story, and then we can remember God. Then we can explain about Bhagavan, God, so Lord Krishna. I think so, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. So by keep hearing about the Lord, all the sound vibrations go and they will have it will purify all our mind and heart, and then Lord will enter into our heart and he stays there forever. That is Bhagavan Shabda Gochara, that happens only through Shrotavyaha, by to be heard. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Usha Mataji about the Kirtavyasha?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So, yes, Mataji.
Kirtivya means to glorify someone. Like when we glorify Krishna's, like we glorify Krishna, and then you have get more in spiritual life, and when in the same like in socially, if you glorify the person, then he'll be more get famous. Same like we have to glorify Krishna, so then people are more joining in the Krishna consciousness. Same like whoever the famous person, and then you glorify them. So it's get even though if you are in in the politically or in spiritually, the person is can be what is about that, like when you more preaching about the person is like when they are in that field, so they get famous. So like when we doing the Krishnas, glorifying Krishna and then preaching about the Krishna, so the person and come to the spiritually and they can yeah, probably I think that was I understood about the Pitri Tavya.
Yes, Mataji, you have explained nicely. So that is glorification, glorifying the Lord, or when we are glorifying something in the material world, that is inauspicious. When we are glorifying, what happens? Whatever the glorification is, for whatever the purpose we are glorifying, those glorifications, the qualities would come to us behind without knowing to us. So when we are glorifying, Krishna is so beautiful. One of the quality, we also derive some part of the Krishna's quality. Krishna is so merciful. We get that mercy. Krishna is so compassionate towards his devotees. He is always fulfill devotees' desires. So those things, we will also derive those qualities. That's why we always glorify Krishna only, not anyone material people. When we are glorifying material people are with full of faults and so many things. Krishna and Krishna devotees glorification is all auspicious, connecting to Krishna and eternity. Those qualities will come to us. But here, in the Savanakadi sages in the letter they say we should not glorify. Swa vit viraho usta karehi samstaha purushaha pasuhu naitkarna pato peto jatunama gadagrajaha. If we are glorifying a person, materialistic person, for any reason, then he is compared to Swa vit viraho ustra karehi, the four animals. A dog, a stool-eating pig, a donkey, and Ustakarehi, and also camel. Samstaha Purushaha Pasuhu, he is compared with who is glorifying such kind of materialistic people who are not devotees of Krishna. Naitkarna Pato Peto Jatunama Gadagrajaham. So this is glorification to be happen only for Krishna and his devotees, pure devotees, not for anyone else. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so next one is the Jaya, and can I request Radha Sevika Mataji?
So this means to be remembered. So it's like the same one as the glorified one, that nobody is really worth remembering apart from Krishna. And once you remember Krishna, everything else it doesn't matter. Like, and the mind is always troubling us. So during that troubling, if we can just put Krishna in our memory, in our because we do remember him, but we forget also. So we become like he's the only one to be remembered. If we can just remember his lotus feet, everything else doesn't matter. Like, people can go through extreme suffering, but if they just remember Krishna's lotus feet, or they just remember Krishna in their mind, then that suffering doesn't affect them, because they're thinking about something higher. And this is quite hard to do, because you can glorify quite, like, you can read some, you can even what was the first one? You can glorify, you can hear also, but remembering is probably the hard part, because that's the part that it's done internally. So it's something that we have to practice as well, and it's something we have to make an effort with, I think, like more so than something that comes naturally.
Yes.
Because it's from, like, you remember through your mind, your heart, your intellect. So it's hard, it's a little bit harder, because everything is trying to pull us down. So if you can just remember Krishna's lotus feet, then everything becomes like you're attached to that. So whatever you're going through in this material world, your mental state is on Krishna.
Yes,
That one pointed attention is on Krishna. So it makes it easier to deal with whatever we're going through.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So remembering when we render some service, and hearing and always glorifying and serving, so we will only remember that particular personality. Otherwise, it is not possible to remember the. So materialistic people, why they are engaging? So they forgot about Krishna. They don't hear about Krishna. They don't glorify Krishna. That's why they have forgotten that which is smritigna. So that smriti doesn't appear in those demonic or materialistic people, because they don't hear, they don't glorify the Lord, they don't come near to devotees. That's why they are conditioned. Thank you so much, Mataji. So just by hearing and glorifying and serving, then only we can remember the Lord. Okay, so next word is pujyascha nityada. Constantly we have to perform all these activities. Can I request Jahna Kanya Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Yes. What what is saying generally is to receive protection from the Lord. One should develop constant, and here it's important to remember how we've been given this gift of chanting, to actually listen and hear. And when you're chanting, you can listen to what you're saying, so you can clarify that you are actually saying the right thing and that you are focused. I think this is what it means, which is the word puja. Right, okay, puja comes into it because that's part of the practice. So it says you can listen here and about the Lord, glorify him, and of course by doing all this you're remembering him. And also in the puja is to worship him in all senses, so you are actually serving him in a way that you know as the shastras dictate, that we must follow the regulative principles and all the regulations, and you know whatever is the devotee should be adhering to. So you're doing it by worshiping the Lord. You are doing puja, you're doing all these ritualistic performance, and in your performance you're remembering him. It's so important that you remember the Lord, and by focusing you will get to a point where you become, to you're endeavoring to become pure devotee. And so when you glorify, you are actually feeling the glorification is directed to the right person, who is the personality of Godhead. So you listen, you hear, you glorify, remember, and you worship the Lord in a way that will get you to a higher plane, which is pure devotional service, will help you to reach Krishna. So all these things has to be, like when you chant, you have to constantly chant, not just chant for 2 minutes and leave it for the day and say, there's my duty finished. No, it's to be connected to the Lord and remember him. You have to be thinking of him all the time. And chanting is one of the ways for us to get closer to him. That's what I make of it. So worshiping is all, and then perform his duty and spread his word to other people who don't know. So you're actually helping Krishna to you're helping Krishna, or the community that we live in. We help Krishna to spread the word to this community, because people don't know of him, and so that's what he will be very pleased about, if we actually carry his messages to each and every person. So especially the ones that don't know. So we're helping the underprivileged. So sorry, Prabhuji, I'm just picking up the little words. And so you pay good attention and focus your mind on your performance directed to the Lord. That's the way you'll get protection, and you will feel a lot happier, and all of us are thriving to reach that happiness. So this is a really good way of doing it. If you're struggling in other different areas, this is an easier version, I think it's telling us to follow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So that's why Pujasya Nityada, all the time, constantly, every day. By performing puja is just cleansing that temple area. In everyone's home, we have got a deities, just cleansing, and then changing the flowers, giving you water, fruits and flowers to the Lord, and then make some prasadam to the Lord and sit in front of the Lord, and then glorify some slokas. So many slokas are there in the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Show our gratitude towards him, and then because of those activities we remember Krishna and sing songs for him and to please him. That way all the activities, if it happens every day, it is so pleasing things. So every day it is very pleasing. and one attains the perfection of life just by simply hearing and glorifying, remembering, and worshipping. Okay, so there's so much of beauty of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, that is about it. Thank you so much for everyone participating in this one, for learning and understanding and sharing your understandings as well. Okay, so before we close this one, dear devotees, do you have anything to share more on these two verses?
Prabhu, I just wanted to ask, like, how do we know, or how do we assess, like maybe within ourselves, like which stage we are at? And how do we know, like, say you said that in ashram wise we can't, like varna can change but ashram can't change, so like how do you know which, when we're born, which ashram we've come from? How do we assess these things? And then say sometimes we have like setbacks in life or what have you, how do we know that's, if it's like it's because it's Lord's will, or if it's our own karma, or
Yes, Mataji. So that one, from the asrama perspective, it is a brahmacharya. Even though we don't do anything, our body keeps growing and it will go to youth and then getting older and then it will die. It will never stop. That is in the ashrama, it is a brahmacharya. But our activities, are we studying swadhyayana, reading the scriptures in the brahmacharya, equipped with all the knowledge, then face the world. How do we face that? Do I want to face the world? Do I have some desires? If I have a tinge of desires, then I need to enter into grahastha dharma. But if I don't have any desires, I can enter into directly sannyasa also. And then I dedicate myself to Krishna. Brahmacharya and sannyasa, and that's it. Enter liberation from the material world and become a devotee of Krishna. That is one side. And if I got some desires to be fulfilled, because I'm not yet come, even though I know all this knowledge, but still I'm being attracted by some desires, then I have to accept a partner and then carry out and fulfill those desires and following the regulative principles, code of conduct according to the scriptures, and then fulfill those desires. And by the time the body may be, it is strong in the senses, in the strong senses before entering the Grihastha Dharma, and then by the time we come out of the Grihastha Dharma, by the time the senses are getting weaker, but the desires needs to be still there. So what we need to do then, Vanaprastha, there we have to subside all these desires, and then gradually they will be decreased, and then we enter into sannyasa where there are no more material desires. So that is, we can understand whether still I have got desires to fulfill in this material world, and that is easily can be understandable by one's own personal observations. Do I have desires? Means my senses are stronger. I have some desires. I want to eat this one. I want to have association with this particular man or woman, or I need to have children. I need to study this one. Likewise, those are the desires that we can personally observation. And then when those desires are completely fulfilled, or still if they are still extending, means that is not good. And then so we need to be satisfied. Daiva labdhena santosha. Whatever is coming, we have to be satisfied. That is what Krishna says in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
so we should just be satisfied with whatever comes our way?
Yes, not desiring for more. I want
Okay.
to do the material perspective. No.
Okay, so what about if, just imagine that you're trying to follow a certain path and you don't, sometimes there might be that little bit of desire. Would that mean that you have to be reborn to fulfill that desire?
If it is material, yes.
So the key thing is that you take all the material desires out one way or the other, whether you purge them through meditation or you act on them, one way or the other, that material desire has to go.
Yes. If we are absorbed and full of material desires, then there is a Sankhya philosophy how one has to completely to control. One has to perform his material duties first, and also he has to stop the sinful activities, and then he should be satisfied with what he has got, and then um, take the shelter of spiritual master to get the knowledge, and then go to a lonely place and sit, and as much as possible sit there and meditate on the Lord's lotus feet, that is keeping his half closed eyes, completely concentrating on tip of the nose, with a half closed eyes, and remember Krishna's lotus feet, which would eradicate all the darkness in the heart. And then when we have to remember Krishna's lotus feet for so many days until uh, it is Jatu Manaha Samala Saila Nisrusta Vajram. That is until Krishna's lotus feet Jayet Chiram Bhagavataha Charanara Vindam. We need to remember that lotus feet, meditate on lotus feet until all this, the hill of piles of sinful activities are completely Nisrusta Vajram. They're completely eradicated out. Shamala Saila Nisrusta Vajram. Shamala Saila is the hill of all the sinful activities, and Krishna's lotus feet is a Nisrusta Vajram. It will make them away, go away, all of these things. It will cleanse it out. So until that time, Jayet Chiram Bhagavataha Charanara. We need to meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna. So that way, all the sinful activities will be cleansed out. Then we meditate on one part of the Krishna, like lotus feet, and then legs, and then thighs, and then navel, and then his chest, and then neck, and then his arms, and then lotus face, like that. That way, completely absorbed in Krishna, thoughts of Krishna. But that is for the it is advised for the people who have got so much of thoughts, mental speculations, and desires. For them, it is advised like that. But what is most pleasing is for the devotee who is always engaged in the devotional service, nothing else. Then it is not recommended. We can simply carry out our duties as a servant of Krishna, like a brujya. Lord is always trying to help the devotees. Brujya Kataram. He is ready to render some kind of things, a favor to the devotees. That is our position. Then we are under
If we miss one of them, then it doesn't mean that we'll have to come back. We can still be on our path to Krishna.
Yes, so it would nothing will be lost. So we simply continue. A tiny thing is there, then we have to come back again. Even though if I have got uh, some material person did some good thing to me, and I am still okay, I feel indebted to him. I have not done some good thing. So when I remember that thing, I need to come back, and then I have to do some good thing for him in a different body, because it is a material thing.
Okay, so the best thing is obviously to do the devotional service and then to neutralize the mind, like so that we're not thinking anything apart from Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah, because there will be people that have done so many good things for us, and then we feel like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't do enough. So obviously we don't want to be pulled back to the material world.
Yeah, then that will also pull back. Even though I have not done anything to this person, then that is a good thought, but it would also bring, it is a pious, but it will be conditioned, and then we have to come back, take birth nearer to that person, and then render some service, and then we will be cleared of that indebtedness. Like sometimes, like a father and child and mother, I have got my child, but I did not do enough for him to bring him to Krishna consciousness. But if I am engaging myself completely in Krishna consciousness, I am full with of knowledge, and then I know what I am doing it. So everything else is just a matter of instrument, something like that. When I'm with full knowledge, then I don't worry about think of all those things. It is everything is under Krishna's supervision. Then I do not have to worry about anything, either good or bad. I do not have to worry about it. Then I do not have any relationship with this material world, either family and friends or anyone else. Then I'm directly going to Krishna, nothing else. I don't look back.
So the key thing is to not look back.
Yes, that's true.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
What if you dissociate yourself with somebody that's bad influence, and you actually hurt them in the process? Would that be a kind of hurt that will hinder your, your movement to Krishna consciousness, level it? The thing is, do you need to know what level you're at? I'm not sure.
So
if you're doing the right thing, would you need to know the level?
when we, it is personal observation. When we are eating, whether I'm full or not, I only can understand it.
Yeah.
My appetite. So when I understand, okay, what I'm doing, I'm engaging in the devotional service. Do I have some material desires? Then if something happens knowingly or unknowingly, Krishna will take in charge of it and he will look after it, how to rectify those things. I do not have to worry about it because I'm completely engaged in the duty of devotional service to Krishna, not for any. Even though sometimes by my activity, some people may be felt uncomfortable, but am I doing it purposefully? No, that is not the purpose of a Krishna devotee. He wanted to serve only Krishna, and then Krishna, he will look after those things. He will rectify those things wherever it is needed. He remediate it. But
Even if you hurt somebody unintentionally,
unintentionally, yes. So Krishna
like
will
disassociating.
disassociating, yes. But our consent, there are few things. One is our complete absorption in Krishna consciousness and our duty based. The two things. Our duty is completely engaged in the Krishna's devotional service. Nothing else we have to worry about it.
Mm. That's lovely. Yeah, that's really good to know. And yeah, okay. So if you have a desire to be a musician, for instance, in this material world, and you have fulfilled the desire to be with Krishna, yeah, and you're there, would you have to be born again to come and fulfill that, or can you not do the music with Krishna?
So that is a very nice question, Mataji. So as a devotee, we wanted to be sing nice kirtans for the Lord. For example, Bhimasena was, when Arjuna was singing nicely after coming back from the heaven, Bhima also wanted to think that, but he was going to practice those songs because his personality, the sound was not horrible. It was not pleasing. At the time, some people, they have complained to Draupadi saying that it is a bit uncomfortable. Then Draupadi came to Bhimasena and says, my dear husband, it would be very nice if you go to the lonely place and sing. Then so Bhima understand, and then he stopped that activity. But here, so that is the very fun thing. But when we wanted to glorify the Lord, that desire, it would happen in this life itself. The desire will be fulfilled with Krishna in this life itself. We can say it may not be pleasing, but it will be fulfilled. And then we will be satisfied. In everything will be satisfied. We would not leave anything to take birth again. But still, some of the devotees like Srila Prabhupada and who are compassionate towards the devotees, so they will try to come back again by their personal own will, even though they don't have any interest to take pleasure in this world. At the time, these small kind of things, singing for Krishna and that will be also fulfilled.
Even if it's unknown to you that you've committed some kind of misdeeds, it will be flagged up when it's time for judgment. Is that right?
Yes, Mataji, that is
So
there.
Yeah.
So those things, because as soon as in Krishna consciousness, every activity, yajjad bhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purva karma anurupam. Every activity, a karma, it will give a result. Whether I am doing akama karma or sakama karma or vikarma. Akarma, vikarma, and sakarma. These are the ones. If I do sakarma or vikarma, they will be completely they give results, either good or bad results. But akarma, we are doing for Krishna, it doesn't give any results. When we stop all the sakarma and vikarma and then engaging in the akarma only, but still there are previous seeds we have done. When we have been, and gradually we experience those difficulties in devotional life. Those are the ones coming from the past. But since the point we are engaging in akarma, then they do not give any results from that time, and only past activities only nullified. That's all. No more new karma is coming. So at the end, Brahma Bodha Prasannatma, he will be completely Brahma Bodha stage. There is nothing else for him to either experience or to enjoy all his pains and pleasures. And he is absorbed in the Krishna consciousness. He doesn't take birth again. Yad gatva nanivattante tad dhama paramam. But even to become because of devotees, that doesn't mean that they would not experience it. They would also have previous, before coming to the devotional service, those things will be keep on giving those results in this time, because still he has got a body. It will be properly arranged so that you experience in this age this much bit of karma, like that. Until end of the time, we will also experience those pains and pleasures. But because we are Krishna's devotees, we do not, they will be completely subsided. Parasparam tvad gunavada siru piyushi niryapita deha dharmaha. Even though they are coming and going, we do not give any attention to them, because we are drinking the nectar of piyushi niryapita deha dharmaha. And then because of that nectar, we do not experience those pains and pleasures. We are because Krishna. And in due course of time, we see Krishna. Seeing Krishna means no more material body. We are in a spiritual body.
Beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you. And you mentioned earlier about glorifying Krishna and his devotees. How do we know who are Krishna's devotees? I mean, what would you classify as devotees? Because we glorify people all the time in groups, and when we meet them, we glorify them. It's like this, just to please people. But I think you can please people in a better way than. Sometimes it's not even true, but it's you're glorifying just for the purpose of it. Not for the purpose, for just the sake of it, because sometimes you don't know what to say, or you want them to feel better than you, or you want to feel better. It's like that. So I just wonder whether it's a good thing to glorify every time you meet somebody, or every time somebody's done something good. I don't believe in doing it, but we do it. All of us are engaged in that one way or the other.
That's true, Mataji. What your question is perfectly makes sense, and that is really good. Glorifying others in association with Krishna, it is good, even though either they are deserved or not. It doesn't matter. Glorifying Krishna devotee who is engaged even a tiny bit, 0.001%, glorifying them, it is good for us. We are glorifying with the good qualities. We are not scolding or something with the bad things. We are only doing good words. The sound vibration coming from our mouth, it is good thing. And what it would give, it will only give good to us, not to something else. So first of all, we will be benefited first when we glorify others, either directly or indirectly, Krishna or Krishna's devotees. Glorification is always good. We do not have to think about it, even though they are not doing good, but if we feel it, but they have engaged some little service to Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Glorification is, it is for our benefit.
Yeah, I
And
noticed that with a couple doing book distribution, it has actually worked, me glorifying them, because they keep coming and they come back to me and say, you're the one that helped us to do it, and blah blah. But I feel it's not true, you know. I feel it's kind of, you know, it's just, but it's, I think the key of it is encouragement, which is wonderful in that sense.
yes, Mataji, yes. And
But
also,
not to put them on a platform that they, you know, because we're nothing, you know, we don't own anything, we don't belong anywhere, and we don't, you know, we shouldn't be, you know, having ourselves put on a pedestal for things that we don't really do ourselves. It's Krishna is doing.
yes, Mataji.
Mataji, you've answered your own kind of question. Like, I think sometimes you'll feel inspired from within by Krishna to say something, and then it's just genuine, and then you won't think about it. It's just like it just comes out of your mouth, and that's it. It's gone because you've been inspired by Krishna. But sometimes you're right. I think the encouragement word you used, there's a big need for encouragement, because sometimes, like, if we don't know how we're doing, then, and someone's not saying, oh, you did that really well, then we need that reflection as well. So I think you probably answered your own, like, you answered your own question.
Yes, Mataji, yeah, that is true. So even that person, because he received glorification, he will be encouraged more. So there are two things. One side is from our heart, and from other side, his reflections. So he would try to engage more in Krishna consciousness. So that is, everything is auspicious.
Yeah, and the thing is, you see, when you glorify you, and somebody is, say, you encourage them and they reach a real high good platform, you can't help but, even if at my level, which I'm trying best to overcome, is there's a touch of kind of threat that they might overpower you in a way. And I know it's not something we talk about, but it's real. It's getting rid of that level of envy and jealousy. And sometimes it comes, but I dismiss it and I think, oh, nonsense, you know. But it's still there because we're conditioned in that way of being. I'm being open and honest here. I'm putting my heart on the line. So I hope people don't take it badly.
Mataji, I'm just saying, no, it's so nice that you speak like that, because so many people wouldn't. So
That's right. Yeah, people don't talk about it, but it's real.
Yes,
It's
Mataji.
actually real. We experience this. A tinge of it just crossed your mind. I mean, like Amoga probably never feels this way, but I do sometimes.
Mataji, when I feel like any envy, and I know I have, it, you know, envy is so hard and it's painful for the person
Yeah.
experiencing it. And we know it's painful. It could come through any sort. It doesn't necessarily mean just because we encouraged someone or we didn't, or they're doing better or whatever. But the only way is to really cry in front of Krishna, even if you write it down and beg Krishna to unroot that for you, because envy is the hardest thing, because the whole fact that we're in the material world is because we was envious of Krishna, and therefore we came to enjoy without him. But you have to beg Krishna, and you know what, if you talk to yourself and you say, when that envy starts within you, you know what, my Krishna is bigger than this, he will destroy you, because that's the whole inner, isn't it? That's the inner cleansing. You know what, you will notice after a little bit of crying, not even a little bit, but you surrender it to Krishna, he will uproot it for you.
I know, we know the answer, but I'm just saying, in the material world, we
But it's a disease, isn't it? It's like if you
it's
had like
hard
a
to,
bad
yeah.
if you had a bad day.
It's ingrained, and it's hard to dismiss altogether, totally. So that's why we're not pure devotees, because
But
it's not
the-
totally pure. You have to be at a stage where you really are detached, and so you surrender totally, and you're so humble, these things don't touch you. But I'm not at that stage yet. I am
that,
thriving, I am trying, and
and
I
that's
do.
all Krishna wants, isn't it? He just needs that endeavor. That's why, because
Mm.
like, I feel it as well. And because when we come into contact with Krishna, he's pure. He hasn't got that. So he will take that from us and he will purify it in some different way so that it comes down. That we will then feel a different, we won't feel that envy so hard, if that makes sense, because he will take control of it. That's
Oh
why,
no, it's not hard, but it crossed my mind and I'm aware of it. So
yeah,
this is the good thing. If you're aware, you do something about it. So
yeah,
that is good, but it's there, that's what I'm trying to say. It's there sometimes, it just rears its ugly head every so
yeah,
often.
yeah.
And you think, oh no, and then you got to be strong enough to hit it on the head and just move on. And
And Mataji, that's what your association will do. That
yeah,
exactly that. Like when you're in association, when you're chanting, when you're reading, um, it's because it's like that's the best part of, I think, association. Like it's like we're kind of all doctors for each other, but obviously not in the kind of physical sense. But when those like you said, those bubbles pop up, they're ugly, they rear their ugly heads kind of thing. It's like, okay, with that that power of that group or that association or that chanting, it will uproot really quickly. I know what you're going, I know what you mean and everything, but it does work. Like you have to believe it will work, and then it
oh
works.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm, I'm still, you know, I'm committed. I know it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I used
but
to
I'm
feel
just
so much
saying,
envy. Like I didn't even know. Like, and sometimes, Mataji, also other people are trying to make us feel envious, and you have to be able to
yeah.
protect yourself from that because
Well, yeah, it's not they doing it. It's the envy is in within us. This is it. That's what we believe is. That's why we say, "Oh, somebody did this to me." Somebody, they don't do it to you. You are allowing it because you have got that ingrained in you, and every so often it pops up, as I say. When you think about it, they haven't got the power over you. You have the power over yourself.
yeah,
That is the real truth. And the thing is, we say, this is why we have so much conflict. Oh, guess what? So and so did this to me. So and so said this to me. And, they made me feel. Nobody can make you feel, but you take it on and you wallow in it. And of course, it makes you feel because you want to blame somebody for your misdemeanor, really. We all carry that, but if we are aware of it, that's the key
yeah,
to unlocking the lock that
yeah,
Krishna experienced when he was born. He was locked in a cell, wasn't he? And
yeah,
he's having the power to unlock that lock, that get get the key from within to unlock it.
yeah.
Haribol, sorry, I'm
Yes.
talking too much.
No, I think it's so
So
important.
yes, Mata, you are all discussing this all transcendental thing related to Krishna, all auspicious. Yeah. So those things, that enviousness, it will go away. We do not have within our heart. When we think someone is overpowering us, like he's doing more service than us, than me. How do I go there? So such kind of little things. These are all transcendental things. And in due course of time, when we appreciate their activities, then these things will go away. We have to appreciate it. Then only these things will go.
Yeah, I'm aware. I can analyze it, and I'm aware, and I think that's the key to it, isn't it? If you're aware that is a start, is you're already there because you're gonna do something about it. But it's when people are in denial. Oh no, I don't do that. I'm not nothing to do with me, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
That's when it's infectious.
yeah,
Yeah. It's okay. I'm all right. I'm not saying I'm not wallowing in it.
Yes,
I'm
Mata.
just saying it does crop up every so often. And you
yeah,
think, and you find a way to deal with it if you want to, don't you?
And Mataji, like, I think you just saying it, I think it's so liberating, because most people wouldn't
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah, you're
Like,
right, because we don't say it, do we? We carry these things, and it